welcome to Mandy's Come Sew with me. Now, if you haven't been here before, my name's Mandy and this is my craft room. Now listen, today's video is actually a continuation, so it's video number 2 of fat quarters. Now, what I'm actually doing, I'm doing a 5 video session of what you can actually make out of one fat quarter. And then at the end of video number 5, I'm actually going to get everything together and show you. But I'll show you what we've made and you'll see anyway. So I did say in video number 1 when I was cutting the fabric, so if you want to know the cutting, watch video number 1, all the cuttings in there. But I did say in video number 1 that I needed 4 strips at 4 inches. I actually don't, it was only 3. And when I also said that I was going to do a video with 1 strip in each video, not necessarily correct, because today's video I only need a certain amount, so what's left we'll do in video number 5. So come in this way, guys, and I'll show you what we've got so far. Oh, actually today we're making tetrahedron carryalls and they are just gorgeous. Now I've already started making some again recently, so I'll show you. Now here's our scrunchies that we made last week, and we're still continuing with this fabric. And this week we're using the 6-inch strip, but we're cutting it down. So there's our scrunchies from last week. Now the tetrahedrons, if you hold the top, take the zip down, it's fully lined and it's great. Hold the bottom ribbon, zip it up. Now on a lot of my stuff, I put swivel clips on them because that way you're not stuck with putting these all in your bags. You can actually clip these on the outside of your bag and not lose anything. I'm still using my name tag, so everything that I make, I'm putting my name tags on them. So I'll pop that there. So today, tetrahedron carryalls. Now the name came from customers in my shop. My customers named them, so we just continued. Now your 6-inch strip. Get your 6-inch strip that you tucked away. And what we need is for you to cut it down to 12 inches. Okay, so what we've got is 6 inches by 12 inches. We also need some backing, same size, 6 inches by 12, and watting, 6 inches by 12. Now my watting, it's not cotton. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a nylon. I think there's nylon in it of some sort. Now the reason for that, I bought this big roll ages ago and I still have it here, and this is what I've been using and I'm trying to get through it, so I will stick with this. But to be honest with you guys, a cotton one is really, really good. A cotton wadding or batting, whatever you want to call it, a cotton one is actually really good. So stick with your cotton ones, but I'm just using what I already have. Now I have my pieces laid out here. I use a lot of continuous zipper. So I just cut it down. It comes in a roll and I just cut it down to the size that I want. I have 2 little sliders there for my zip, my 2 name tags, and I've also got 4 pieces of ribbon. Each piece of ribbon is 3 inches. Now, if you're only playing with 1 fat quarter, you only need 2 pieces of ribbon, 1 backing, 1 piece of wadding, and 1 zipper. So now, oh, and also this leftover piece, now that's what's left after I cut my 12-inch strip. So this one then gets tucked away for video number 5. So don't throw it out, that's video number 5. Okay, so I have all my stuff ready. And all I've got to do, oh, and I have my sunflower scrunchies. I actually got rid of that black one, the store-bought one, because I really like my sunflower ones. So definitely better. So what I'm going to do is I'll end it here and transfer everything over to the sewing machine, and we'll start up again just there. So I'll be back shortly. Hey guys, we're back again, and I have my Tilly. My Tilly's come in to say hello. She had her trim. She's so beautiful. Okay, there you go, baby. Okay. Now, I've got everything over here that I need. So my backings, my fronts, my wadding, my name tags, zippers, and ribbon and sliders. Okay, so what I've done so far is just put my tops on the wadding. That's all I've done so far. Now, I don't sew them on, but what I am going to do is sew my tags on. Oh, and actually, guys, these name tags, like, these are mine, so I had mine designed. But I'm pretty sure I did see in Spotlight that you could actually get some sort of a name tag actually in its Spotlight, and I'm pretty sure there was something like handmade with love. I don't know, I do remember seeing something like that, so you can actually get some sort of a tag from in its Spotlight. So Spotlight here in Australia, check it out. Just need to look everywhere. So, oops, I have my tags in place. And when we sew things, we just don't want to rush it actually. If you rush it, you're definitely going to make a mistake. So just go gently, go slowly. Now, our next part is, see our zippers? Now, I didn't tell you before how long they were, but they're actually about 6.5 inches long. So I've just given myself an extra little 1/2 inch to play with, and as you can see, I've got a little bit extra each side. So I'll just work with one at the moment. So I'll put this one aside, have a backing. Now I'm just going to open my zip up and pull it apart. So in case you can't tell, this is actually the top and the front. But the back, well, there you go, the back is a little bit different. So you can tell the difference. So that's the front. And that was the back. So you can tell the difference. Now what I want you to do is grab it, the front, face down. Now this is actually a little bit tricky. So I'm going to use clips to hold it in place. And another thing, I don't have a zipper foot for my sewing machine, so I'm just using the same foot. I don't know if they have any. I just never got one. So put that in place. So that's your zipper. Front down. Can you see that? That's the front. So front side down. Now I grab the backing and I put the backing right over top. You could use, it's a thin tape to stick all of this down and not worry about clipping it. I do have some somewhere, but I'm not actually sure where it is right now. Haven't actually gone hunting for it because I didn't always get time to do it anyway. So, okay, so what I've got, wadding and top fabric. I have my tag, my zipper, and then the backing. So I'm just going to put all of this into my sewing machine. So come in close, guys, and have a look. Put my foot down. Get as close to that zip, the teeth, as possible. As you can see under my fabric, that's the teeth there. So I'm just going to start it and run it down. Now I would just suggest go slow, take it easy. We're not in a rush. I mean, just a little idea is you could actually do a couple of sets and pass them out as Christmas gift ideas, which would be really nice. And there you go. So I've got one done. And that is how it looks so far. Okay, so leave that down. And I'm just going to grab the other piece, face down, so that's the back of it. Face it down on the top end. Clip it. Definitely not a rushing job, and I'm not sure how that lighting is right now. I can bring my light over if we feel the need to. Now put the backing in place. Clip it all down. And there we go. It's all clipped down. It's all in place. So I'll pop this under. So come back in, have a close look. Again, go slow. Now make sure with the beginnings of your seams, always go backwards and forwards a couple of times. So I'm now going to turn this in the right way. This is what it looks like at the moment. And I think I might just have a couple of moments. Actually, I might just stop it here for a second because I'm going to bring my light over. So I'll be back in a second. Back again. I just had to grab my light because it helps brighten up the area just a little bit more. So hopefully that helps. Sometimes we need a little extra light. Now I want to run a seam or a stitch, sorry, straight down over this seam. So right over top. And I'm lucky enough that my foot fits right in there. Just catch that little piece there. So just want to do a nice little seam there. And the same on the other end. Do a nice little seam right on the edge there. So that's what I've got so far. Okay. Now, if you want to see that part again, we'll actually do that part again and then I'll continue on to the next part. So, well, actually, while I'm here too, see your little ribbon pieces? Fold them all up in half. And just stitch them together. This is just a little job that we don't need to do later. Not a major stitch, it's just a little stitch to keep them folded in half. So while we're here, we'll just do that so that is done. So this is your ribbon. You only need 2 pieces if you're making 1, but I need 4. And that gets this little job done. Out of the way. And it's, oh, hang on. Nearly made a mistake, and actually there was one thing I didn't get, and that was my hooks. So hang on a second, because I didn't have them out, I actually forgot them. So with your little swivel clip foot hook, it's just actually a swivel clip opening clasp, and that's why I almost forgot it. Almost. Lucky I remembered at the last minute. So 2 of them have a clasp on them, and two of them don't. So I'll just quickly undo this. Crisis averted. So we avoided that little problem. Now, back to this. So there's our top. We've put our name tag on. Open up the zip. So I'm going to put the other side in as well. So there's your front. And that's the back, so face down. Clip it. I'll grab a couple more clips. Oops, just lost one. Clip it. And clip it. Bring the backing down. Clip. Clip. And clip. Dun dun dun, there we go. Done that. So we now turn it in the right way. And dun dun dun, we have one up to this stage. Again, second one up to this stage, which is really good. But I'm only doing like, I'm doing two so that you can see exactly what I'm doing and I can show you again. And this end. And when you do this, ran off the edge again. Always living on the edge, guys. But it's pretty easy to fix, as you can see. So there we go. Now my next job, make sure I have them together, have them sitting this way with my my name tags to the right. And this part, oh, I don't like this part because it always plays up on me. Like, it is a bit difficult. So let's see how I go at putting my sliders on today. Finally. Oh my goodness, that was so painful, wasn't it? I don't know about you guys, but it was painful for me. But luckily, I actually got it right. So I actually need that zipped almost up to the top. Set that one aside. You know what? That one's upside down. That's painful. There we go. That's better. Okay, so that one is right. Unfortunately, that one is wrong. So let's just hum away for a bit, you know. Hum, sing. Do you really want to hang around and watch this again? Because it's painful. Actually, I got it straight away. Yay! I got it straight away. There we go. And that's pretty straight. All right. Sliders, hey? Who wants to play with them? Okay, so we've got that. Now what we're going to do is pretty much zip them almost up, but don't zip them right up because you don't want them to come off. Turn them inside out, but like so. Line it up and find your halfway point and do the tiniest little nick that you can actually see, and do the same with the backing, with the inside, sorry. Do the tiniest little nick that you can actually see. So that's that one. We'll do them together so you can see that. Turn it back inside out. Bottom edge, okay? This is the bottom edge. So the zip that you've gone in, bottom edge. That's what we're doing this on. So get your halfway point, put the tiniest little nick in there so you can see, and the halfway point on the backing, and again, the tiniest little nick. The reason why I say the tiniest little nick is because if you put too big a nick, it's going to be really hard, really difficult. Okay, so this one, that little nick, I want you to put right over top of the zip. See where the zip is? Now I'm going to use clips. Clip those edges. Go over the back and do exactly the same. Line that little nick up with your zipper. Okay, and that's what we're doing. Then we clip it. Clip it. Okay guys, so what we're doing here is I'm lining that little nick up with the zipper. So then we're just going to clip it. And then the back. Line that up also with that back zip edge. And then we just clip it all into place. Hold all our fabrics together. I'm going to move that across just a little bit. Take your time with it. If I did these all the time, I'd be probably really good at it right now, but because my shop, we had to have variety, so I didn't always sew the one thing. We had to sew lots of different things. So we are a bit slow, but you know what? That's okay. Now, our little tag that has nothing on it, what I want you to do with that, see the front of the zipper, the front and down the bottom. put our little tag on top of the zip. Let him poke out just a little bit so you know where he is. And I can see that that is not lining up properly either, so I'll just give that a bit of a movement there. And there we go. And there's our tag. All right, now what I want you to do is get that piece in place. We're going over top of the zip, and we have that piece on your main fabric outside, okay? Outside, down the bottom. I'm just going to tack all of that in place. There we go. So that's not going to move. Now we're doing probably a little shy of ½ an inch, but a very good ½ of an inch stitch all the way across. And when we get to where our zip and that tag is, and also that's why I said put your zipper up the top so it's out of the way. When we get to here, I actually want you to go backwards a couple of times to make sure that that is nice and secure. Then continue down, backwards and forwards, and finish it off. So you've got a nice seam there. Okay, now trim off the zip and the tag. There it goes, flying away. So that's quite a nice, neat and tidy edge. Clip off the corners. Like so. Then we go to the main fabric, poke that corner through, poke that corner through, and there you go. Give that zip itself a little bit of a finger press down and make sure we poke up those corners properly. So give them a nice poke. And they should actually come up quite easily simply because you've trimmed them right down, so there's not a lot of bulk there. So finger press it all down. Make sure it's all nice in place. And there you go. Nice, neat edge. And there's our bit of ribbon in the right spot. So I'm just going to turn this one also in the right way. Poke the bottom through. And this is my little purple thing that I always play with. So make sure I got my little corners through. Make sure they're nice and neat. Fold that zip. Press that down. So really, really get your fingers in there and really press that down, guys, to make that make that sit. I did not mean anything by that. Make that sit better. And I did not say that, okay? And look, we've got 2 bags so far, exactly the same. So I've got my zippers, the bottoms are going up there, and that one's going up, and I've got my tags both on the same side. So yay! Now our next little trick is, this is the one that we do We do this one on the outside because I'll show you with these other ones. Oh, clip. I found that if I did that inside the bag, did that seam inside, it actually didn't sit very well because you've got this edge anyway that's nicely tucked away. But having that one on the outside, I felt, oops, I dropped it. Oh, that's going down a few times. That's my exercise for the day. I felt that these carryalls looked better when I had a binding seam there. You hide the bottom seam, the top one was a binding. So that's my opinion, and that's what I'm going to stick with. Oh, and actually I didn't tell you guys, for the binding, you actually need a 2.5 inch strip, usually the length of your fabric. But yes, a 2.5 inch binding strip. So I forgot to mention that as well. So in your cutting, don't forget binding. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to put that zip down just a little bit. Use the clips, keep my zipper together up the top. Clip the end and clip the middle. I usually always use 3 clips at a time. So as you can see, the shape is just really nice. I love the shape. Plus trying to hide seams all the time, that's annoying. So I'm going to stick this one under my machine again. Now this one, let me see. Okay, that's still a good 1/4 inch for on the fabric, but it's a little bit more with the wadding sticking out. So that's over a 1/4 inch actually. Just whatever you feel comfortable with. Make sure you get that edge right. Run it down. Keep your lines nice and straight. Follow the fabric and not the wadding. Keep your 2 zipper pieces together. I'll get that zip out of the way a bit more. Keep our 2 zipper pieces together. This gets a bit tricky. It really gets a bit tricky. So we've got our 2 zipper pieces together. And we go right to the edge of that fabric and then stop. We're not actually running over the zip. Okay, so that's what we've got. There's the back. Work is always messy looking until we put the binding on, and that's the front. So I'll show you that once more. Start at the edge right up here. We're going to take a decent bite, which is about a little bit more than a 1/4 inch. So if you can actually come right in and have a look, that's if you go by that, that's about a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 of another. So 3/4, I suppose. So on my numbers here, that's a 1/4 inch there. So we're taking that big of a bite. So it's not quite 1/2 inch because that's half. But we're taking that much of a bite, okay? edge of the zip there. I'm not actually running over the end of the zip itself. So again, there you go. That's what it looks like again. So pretty messy. All right, so let's just trim this up. Cut that bit of zip. Again, trim it all up. And cut the bit of zip. Now we do end up with a lot of rubbish around our sewing machine and on the floor. Okay, now our swivel clip. I actually want my swivel clip pretty much in line with my tag. So I'm putting that swivel clip right there. Make sure it's out of the way. Go backwards and forwards a couple of times. Okay, and that's where that's sitting. I'll show you that one again. And there you go. So that's what we've got again. Oops, that was a bit wonky. There we go. Now, my binding, okay? I only need a piece about that long. So how long is that? That is, all right, we'll make that even. We'll do it 7.5 inches long. Just a piece of binding, 7.5 inches long. I'll cut the second one. So that's all I need. Straighten up my cuts. Now with one end at the moment, we will be doing this with both ends. Now I have this crazy little tool and it's a finger press. So give that a good finger press. Make sure it's straight first. Not like what I just did. So get one end folded and give it a good finger press. So this thing is just great. When I first started doing my videos, I couldn't find this little gadget. Now, fold that over, or fold your binding in half. So that's all in there. Place your binding up there on that edge. Keep it folded in half, and we're working from this side so we can keep an eye on where this dangles, okay? Because I tell you what, you wouldn't want to run over that with your sewing machine. Now we're going to probably, I might try and take that to the edge of the zip like I have done with the others. So we fold it in. Finger press. I go quiet when I concentrate. It's about the only time I shut up. It's when I'm concentrating. Okay, so we've got that it's coming out just a little bit past the zip there. Line it up. And I'm going to clip that one in place also for now. and I'll show you again. So you have that piece, fold it in half, working from the bottom end on this side, get that in, clip it in place, clip your middle piece in place, and now we work with the top end. So we get that piece folded over and just kind of find where your zip sits and fold your piece accordingly to get it to match up nicely. And again, there you go. I'm just a very fraction past the zipper. It doesn't matter if you are way past it. That does not matter. Clip it in place. Now we're working from this side so we can keep an eye on everything. So just make sure your zip's out of the way. That clip is out of the way. And nothing else is going to hit your sewing machine. Okay guys, I'm doing the binding again because I made a boo-boo before. So here we go again, okay? Just quickly get in here. Do not take a big bite, okay? Let's just not do that because otherwise we can't get that to fold over. So there's our seam there underneath. I'll try and get the edge of that fabric right on that seam. Try to make it 1/4 of an inch bite if you can. Because that's not going to fold over. So I'm actually using, and I didn't realize it until now, that this is binding for 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so let me have a look. Aha! Got a little bit more success. Yeah, we got plenty of room. I might just run in here a little bit, so because what I've got here is a little bit of stitching showing and I don't want that, so I'm just going to take a little bit more in here. I mean, things take time to make and everyone makes mistakes. So there we go. That's much better. Now that binding does come all the way over and that is exactly what we want. So I can clip that in place. Make sure most of those threads are tucked in. And out of the way. And that one is pretty much ready. Now remembering, we have to be very careful of this. Now I'm going to do the second one. Okay, so let's go with this second one. Oh, actually we did really well there. We actually sewed on the same line, so that was good. Now again, tuck it over. I better trim that off. Tuck it over. Clip it. Tuck it over. Clip it. And tuck it over. And clip it. We're almost finished. Oh my gosh. These things do take a lot of time. So not crazy if you want to sew to sell. Okay, now I'm going to put it in the machine this way now. So just make sure that clip is out of the way, your zip is out of the way, everything is out of the way. Line it up on that very edge. So now I'm lining the edge of the fabric with the inside foot on that side. Now, we haven't done too bad. I've got a little bit of the stitch showing there, but it's not going to matter too much. It's not really worth pulling this whole thing apart just to get rid of that. Get rid of all the threads. So there's that one. Again, work on the far side, make sure the clip's out of the way, zipper is out of the way. Put it in your machine, line it up on that very edge. And this is another reason why I got this sewing machine, because I did make it do a lot of hard work. Go. That one worked much better actually, so that one definitely sits better, or worked better. Okay, tetrahedrons, guys. This is probably the most difficult that we're going to make, are these ones. But that is your tetrahedron. So your zip, everything's nice and neat inside, nice lining. Looks great actually on the inside. These will actually hold keys. So still, you know, still finger press that down. But there you go, finally finished our tetrahedron carryalls. Oh, I'm glad these ones are finished actually. They were difficult when I was in the shop and they're still difficult. My sliders, oh, yet I did use a lot of zippers in a lot of things. My sliders though, oh, they were so painful. So, come on over here. So this is number 2. Of what we're making out of one fat quarter. So there you go. And depending on what sort of or what color fat quarter you use, actually I really like this one. I really like that one. Depending on what color you use as to how they actually look, and I think they all look pretty good. So unzip it, zip it up. You could play with it all day. It's a difficult process, and it was even more difficult when I was designing it. So, but I do like them, and I actually personally think they are fantastic. I love them. And pretty soon I will have one dangling from my bag. Yeah. Okay, guys. That's it for number 2, video number 2. So I hope you enjoyed it, and what we're going to do after every video, I'm going to stack everything up here anyway, so it's all going to be stacked here and you're going to see it. So next up is video number 3. Video number 3 no, actually video number 3 will not take as long, but I'm not going to tell you what it is until video number 3. So guys, thanks for joining me for this video. Thank you for being patient with me when my slider wasn't going on. Yep, and please like, share, subscribe, and please come back. And we look forward to seeing you again next time. So thank you. Bye.